All right, y'all. I'm sure you see the title. It looks like super counters are indeed getting adjusted or nerfed in the upcoming DLC patch. For its Dragon Ball Sparking Zero DLC 1, the Hero of Justice pack is being released within the next 4 days. And with that, there's going to be a free update available on January 21st. I mean, we'll just take a direct look here. There are actually translation from Creeps here. Again, shout out to our Creeps that translated patch notes. It seems like, again, issues from the feedback document was addressed, or at least stuff that the community has been talking about openly has been addressed here. And, you know, I have been covering Sparking Zero news for quite some time now, so even though we're in a very Dokkan-centric timeline, I do want to still go ahead and keep you guys updated for people who still are interested in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Now we know, of course, with this DLC 1 pack, we're getting Orange Piccolo, Beast Gohan, Cell Max, and then the 2 Gamma Goats, of course. And this is all really cool, right? You know, I think these are characters that should have, I mean, to be honest, in my opinion, should have been base game. But hey, you know, it is good that we're actually finally getting these characters. And along with this, hopefully adjusting a lot of the last issues that I had with the game again, especially super counter. We'll get to it, but again, a shout out to Creeps here for actually translating this for us, at least, you know, in a way that it is legible compared to just normal generic, you know, Google translated kind of shenanigans there. So there's a game mode adjustment. There's now a new mode, Legendary Warrior Face Off. In this mode, you can face off against an extremely powerful character for a limited time. You cannot select this mode outside of the period. Obviously, that is going to be a Broly character is what I'm assuming for Legendary Warrior Face-Off. So this is interesting that it's going to just be a huge boosted character that is available for a certain amount of time. I don't know if there's going to be some certain rewards that you can only get during that time, or maybe just general rewards that are grindable like Xenia, things like that. Is I assume we're probably going to get something like that for this case, but this will be interesting. The CPU in this game are not like easy, but I'm not going to say they're like very like advanced. It pretty much has a lot of spamming of the super counter, which we'll talk about again later, but that is, again, dude, that's getting adjusted. I'm just like, that's the focus of this video. I feel like super counters, I'm sorry, super counter is the thing that is holding the game back. It was holding the game back. A lot of people said, I'm not coming back to the game because super counter. Like, I've had so many comments of that, right? Just by itself, right? And I think that's one thing that really held this game from really kind of succeeding, is because with the super counter the way it is, the actual like combo system feels almost like irrelevant because of the fact that once you get the timing down, or you could just realistically match it with very little drawbacks, you know, that was a thing in general. So episode battle is now possible to change the difficulty when using a dragon orb. Custom battle, more situations, effects, and attacks that you could set have been added for custom battle. Hey, that's really good too. Quick match for player matches have been changed so that you do not enter a room and instead get immediately matched with an opponent. Okay, so you just go straight into a match with the opponent with quick match. That's actually pretty cool, instead of like entering a room and having to wait for the other person to ready up. We also had a quick room search for quick match as well. Ranked match, a wait time has been added before matching as a penalty for the number of times you disconnected. Okay, so that is very reminiscent of I'm literally thinking of Marvel Rivals, right? Where if you disconnect from a game, you actually will get penalized for the amount of time you can play. And from what I'm understanding, again, you also do gain points if you're disconnected against. So the person who disconnects not only does lose points for the match, but they also do get a wait time, and the more they disconnect is what I assume will be a bigger wait time, which is really awesome there. You can now see the controls exclamation when selecting a character in battle setup. Sure, that's helpful. Training, the option guarding after attacks has been added when playing against a CPU. Okay, so that'll allow you to test more, I guess, true combos, quote unquote, is what you could say, right? But it's always just useful to have extra options. Now, the big changes here should be the battle system changes. Charge attacks, either in Smash Attack's Rush change, you will no longer recoil while charging when receiving a rush attack or a rush ki blast from an opponent in sparking mode. That's good, right? So you're just not basically gonna be interrupted from actually having that charge attack when the opponent's in sparking and uses ki blast, right? Rush attack, it's now harder to mistakenly input smash attacks during rush attacks. Thank goodness, because I think that post the update, it wasn't like a big issue, but I felt it was more sensitive to actually do a smash attack when doing normal rush attacks. So that is actually another, like, it's not, again, not a big issue, but I'm sure other people may have experienced that too. The Grand Slash. Hitting an opponent that is falling from a Grand Slash with another Grand Slash will cause them to be blown away spinning. So just a new mechanic, I guess, there. We'll definitely take that. Rush Ki Blast. You will no longer be able to perform a high-speed evasion when being hit. Okay, I see. So that's good, right? Like if you're getting Rush Ki Blast, I guess you won't be able to use that evasive tool, but I don't really think it's that big of a deal, because otherwise, like a Rush Ki Blast right now didn't really have as many use as it did previously, I guess, but sure. Now you know, it could have more use in that specific situation. Smash Ki Blast will now be easier to hit when firing while moving. I think that's nice, right? I'll take that. I don't think it's the biggest deal ever. Now we're here, perception / super perception. Oh, okay. A certain amount of this is actually getting fixed too is actually really good. I think that would be the next thing I want to adjust after super counters, and this is actually a really good change. A certain amount of ki is now going to be consumed upon activating perception or super perception, and after finishing the move, the time until the next action is able to be performed has been increased. So once you do land perception, you can't just like spam it again. You'll have to wait a certain amount of time. Now, they don't clarify that. That's something we'll have to wait until it's actually in game to see. But this is still a good change overall. And of course, if you just keep spamming it, you're just going to use up all your ki. Ki is a massively important resource in this game. So that by itself, man, is gonna just really make people careful about using perception there. It also does give benefit to characters that will have abilities like full power charge, though, right? That's something else to keep in mind. Like Vegito Blue isn't probably like a really good character for that full power charge, for example. Super counter. The time between being able to perform an input has been increased after unsuccessfully performing the move. Thank you. Super counter cooldown has increased. Oh my god. Yes, dude. Again, if you guys don't know, super counter has basically, you could spam super counter 5 times in a second. Like you could spam the input 5 times in a second. That's what the cooldown is. The cooldown was basically like I believe 12 frames and 60 FPS, which, you know, of course that's 60 frames per second. That means 5 times per second. It's absolutely stupid. In Budokai Tenkaichi 3, it was, 20 frames and 30 counts, which was actually pretty much once per second. I mean, if you line it up like frame perfect, it could be twice in a second, but like it's pretty much just once every second, which is a very big difference, man, in terms of doing that. So if they change it to something similar to this, that will be very, very nice to see. But we'll again only know the exact timing once the actual data is actually input to the game, and we could see all the things from there just by testing it. Now there's also speed impact. The timing for being able to input it again after the move finishes has been made later. Chase chains. Damage from giant characters have been reduced when chase changing into them. Okay, so I guess so, sure. Impact recovery. When blown back from lift strike, holding the button down will activate the impact recovery once you hit the ground. Also, when blown back and spinning, holding the button down will activate impact recovery once you hit the ground. Okay, so it's just the recovery. If you hold the button down, it says specifically when you hit the ground, you're gonna activate the impact recovery. Okay. Skill adjustments here. Overall, automatic avoidance skills like Wild Sense. The opponent will no longer be able to use the skills when performing a combo and continuing with the Russian. So the opponent will no longer be able to use the skills when performing a combo. So like, okay, I understand. If they do a Russian attack, then they actually will lose the wild sense, right? That they use, or you know, I'm assuming, you know, after image, right, is another one. So that is, I guess that's fair, right? If you start pushing and being on the offense, like you won't need it as much, but also I get, yeah, sure. I think that move, like Wild Sense, was actually pretty good. Wild Sense attack damage has also been reduced on top of that. The Kaioken skill count consumed has been reduced only for Goku Z early, which that was changed for the Kaioken, like Blue Goku specifically. So I guess reducing it for early Z Goku, of course, would make sense. Tada skill count consumed has been reduced. I actually don't know what skill that is. Let me know if you guys know for sure in the comment section below. All I need is 5 seconds. Oh, another buff to that? Super Saiyan 4 Goku buffs. Okay. Ki is also fully recovered. Hello? You know how much buffs this guy gets? Like from this alone? It's 7 stacks, if I'm not mistaken. Like 7 or 8 stacks, which is a lot. And then he gets full Ki? Wow, that's a pretty good change. Like Super Saiyan 4 Goku, dude. He's like really good now. Like, hey, that boy's gonna be cooking. Then other user friendliness and performance stability has been overall improved. I mean, hey, dude, we might be back, chat. Sparking Zero stream, like, I'll be streaming Sparking Zero and we'll try out the new patch. Yeah, 100%. Dude, there's so much to do. Wow. Let me know what you guys think. This is absolutely just like they fixed, like, there's obviously still gonna be issues that will pop up, but like my biggest issue was perception spam, but especially super counter. And then now we're good to go. I think, yeah, no, I mean, we have to see in game, but this just sounds really good. And they're just adding more things to the game. We might be so sparking back, chat. Let me know what y'all thinking again. I said that again, but you know, it is what it is. Thanks y'all for watching, and we'll be here for DLC 1, the superhero pack. Catch you guys next time.